Welcome back to Brothers Talking Sports. We are here for NFC North preview. Guys, how are we doing today?
Pretty good.
Doing a lot better than you. I have both wrists working, and I don't have a stupid story because of why I did it.
I sprained my wrist, whatever. I sprained my wrist on a moped. It didn't crash, so that makes it even worse. All right, it's good to be back, boys. We're in a new little setup today. We just moved corners. We'll have some more decorations coming by this week for all this, and maybe probably another thing over here. But
can the camera even see it between your shoulders and the TV?
Oh yeah, I can definitely see it.
All right.
Yeah, I could definitely see it.
I can't see shit.
It's okay. You don't need to see it.
I know. I'm not important enough.
All right, let's start off here with the Detroit Lions, guys. Let's get to their key additions and departures. There's not many. Key additions were DJ Reed, Roy Lopez, Tristan Colin, Tylik Williams, Tate Ratledge, and their key departures were Kevin Zettler and Carlton Davis.
You also forgot Frank Ragnow.
Oh, he did retire.
But he retired.
Yeah, he retired, so that's tough for them too.
It's three big losses regardless of what they got.
Well, yeah, but DJ Reed kind of makes up for Carlton Davis.
I think the more important fact with the Lions isn't the players they lost, it's that they lost Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, which is your offense and defensive coordinator, which is like very, very important pieces. It's tough to lose your offensive and defensive coordinator, especially when they were widely regarded as
the best,
one of the best offensive and defensive coordinators in the NFL.
Well, I think the linebacker coach became their defensive coordinator.
Yeah, well, they just promoted guys. That's all every teams do. But it's offensively, I think it's going to be. I mean, Ben Johnson had it seemed like pretty unique way of calling plays, and I feel like it's something that won't be replicated just like what he did.
Yeah. So we'll see what he could do with the Bears, but not many 2 losses and too many gains here for the Detroit Lions. As we move on to the depth chart, Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon St. Brown, and all the other crew. Tate Ratledge, potential to be starting. I'm not sure. Maybe they move Stan Skipper up and stuff like that. They could also move Tristan. He played like 40% of the snaps, I think, for the Broncos last year, so we'll see if he can maybe start there. But we'll see in terms of they did have a backup plan in case they didn't get Tate Ratledge. So I don't know if he'll start, but I think that's probably the only question mark on this depth chart here.
When do you think they're going to move Dan Skipper to a tight end? All right, I'm only kidding.
Not anymore. Not with Ben Johnson out.
But
yeah, definitely not with Ben. Yeah,
they're still a good team on paper.
The only thing that they heard is their interior offensive line's a lot different. That's the only change.
Yeah,
Glasgow moved back to center, and then they got 2 new guards. But it's still the line. I mean, they won 15 games last year. Like they're still a good team.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on here to the defense. And this defense actually improved probably a lot from last year. And I think that where they really improved was upgrading their defensive lineman depth, having 6-7 guys now that could go, actually out there and play, because they were pretty low last year on a lot of guys.
They have guys that wasn't. It's not like they really acquired guys to change it. They were just so injured that they had depth at D line, but they were down to like everybody. They were down like 4 D linemen, so you're just rotating in different guys, which they were still able to do pretty good. It's why they blitzed so much, because they knew they wouldn't really get pressure like with just sending 4. They had to send 5 or 6. So, and it kind of worked out until they ran into Washington in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see. The secondary is a little weak, I think, but I think they'll be okay. Two solid corners. We'll see what happens at nickel. Maybe they move a safety down, but right now it says NS at the moment. So we'll see what happens there for the Lions. All right, let's move on to the Bears here. The Bears had a lot of additions. Joe Thuney, Deo Ojanobi, Drew Aller, and then their two first-round picks were pretty important as well, in Colson Loveland and Luther Burden III. Key departures, Coleman Shelton, Matt Pryor, Keenan Allen, DeMarcus Walker, and Tevon Jenkins.
And they added a head coach.
They do have a new head coach this year.
And Ben Johnson. As people will probably say again, I think they said it for the Bears last year that they won the offseason. That was the whole thing last year. I mean, they didn't do so good last year, so I don't know how much it really translated. Everyone will say it again this year. They won the offseason. Got to see how it translates on the field.
As what are you drinking?
It's a grape-flavored hydration packet that I put in a bottle of water because let's just say I was really, really dehydrated this morning and probably should have been passed out dead.
Passed
But I'm
out
okay.
dead?
No, I mean,
Jesus.
when I peed, it was a concerning color. That's all I gotta say.
It's information I did not need to hear.
Yeah, as I don't think that's information you need to share on the
We
pod.
might need to cut that. Okay, back to Shay on the Bears.
Sorry, Shay, to interrupt you.
The Bears just upgraded a lot on offense.
Oh, that's all they did.
Their interior offensive line is totally different. They got the best center in free agency, a All-Pro guard.
And they got Jonah Jackson.
Jonah Jackson will probably be a
Rams,
depth guard for them. You get another tight end, and then you bring in Luther Burden to replace Keenan Allen. The Bears, Ben Johnson said, all right, Caleb Williams, we are going to give you everything. It's your job to produce now. So he looked all right last year, and now he has no excuses for struggling this year.
I think coaching really held them back last year, so we'll see what happens there. I think their coaching was pretty terrible. But we'll see what Ben Johnson's able to do there. I think he has the youngest offensive coordinator in NFL history, probably. I think he's like 20 years old. 20, 29, 28.
Ben Johnson?
No, they're OC.
Oh.
They're OC, yeah.
Oh.
They hired, so. All right, let's move on here to the depth chart. Again, pretty good right here. They bring in 3 new starting guys in Jonah Jackson, Drew Aller, and Joe Thuney, and then their tackles are pretty young as well.
He's just missing like again, you'll probably need another guard to. They have a lot of older guys, but if this team just had a more solid running back, this would be, I think, like a complete offense.
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan of DeAndre Swift personally.
They are loaded.
Yeah, I think beside just plug in maybe I don't even know like a running back to plug in, but like say they still had like David Montgomery at running back, I'd be like, this is a complete offense right here. They have everything. I mean, they pretty much do have everything there. Swift is not a bad running back by any means. It's just I think
he's going to get all the carries. I mean, they.
No, I mean they'll give Roshan Johnson. Roshan Johnson's a solid power back that they'll give him some carries.
Swift's going to get a lot of it though.
Well, he gets a lot of because he's a third. He could be a third down back and everything. It's definitely this offense should be, and with a defense that was top 10 last year,
this should be a top 10 offense.
This team. That's why everyone expects the team to be good. We got to see if it does translate on the field though, because again, we thought the Jets roster was loaded last year. They won 5 games, so it's tough to say.
Move on to the defense here, and the defense is just as pretty good. They're not. I actually think the offense is better, but the defense is pretty dang good as well. Not many holes anywhere. Really, I mean, guys, maybe you're a little worried at strong safety, but Jaquan Brisker is a pretty good strong safety too.
This defense was very good last year for a reason. Added a couple veteran guys obviously in there, and yeah, this defense is gonna. You would hope is just as good as they were last year, but you never know. We've seen teams where their offense takes a step up, the defense takes a step back. So I'm not sure. We'll see.
All right, Green Bay Packers. Key additions: Aaron Brooks, Nate Hobbs, and then their 3 drafted players: Matthew Golden, Anthony Belton, and Savon Williams. Their departures are Jair, Eric Stokes, Eric Wilson, Trudell Slayton, and Josh Myers.
You wrote out TJ Slayton's full name.
Yes.
To Daryl. I was like, who's to Daryl Slayton? I was like, oh, that's TJ Slayton.
Yes. Shay, what do you think of the key additions and departures for the Packers?
I mean, they really didn't lose any. They really lost nothing until they got rid of Jair Alexander. If they didn't get rid of Jair Alexander, this would have been like one of the teams that's like they lost literally nothing. I mean, none of those guys were starters. Eric Wilson, rotational guy.
Eric Stokes was a starter.
No, he was not. No, he was not. He was when he came into the team, not last year, not for the past couple of years when he got hurt.
Well, he had to start last year when Jair was out.
He didn't start, no.
He didn't play last year?
Mm-mm. It was Keyshawn Nixon and Carrington Valentine was the other on the and then the Bullard was the slot guy. And Myers is, I don't care what you could say, he was the worst center in football last year, like literally the worst center in football.
Myers got like $2 million, but he also was your starting center, so I had to put him on here.
Yeah, no, I know. But he played, but he was bad. Like he will be a backup for the Jets. And they got Aaron Brooks now. They'll move Jenkins into the center slot to help that offensive line. And I mean the big one for them is again, I don't think they really changed much the Packers from last year. They still have issues. Their secondary's going to struggle. And their pass rush is going to struggle unless someone steps up. I like Nate Hobbs. I would have liked Jair Alexander and Nate Hobbs, but you get Nate Hobbs and Keyshawn Nixon now, which is not as good. And you have no one to go get the quarterback still. Matthew Golden's the big one. That's the one where this offense could take off with him. It could be a new level, but I guess we'll see.
As anything on the Packers' departures and additions?
I mean, I'm a little surprised they drafted Golden where they drafted him, but
I think everybody is.
Yeah.
I think we all are.
We'll see how it pans out. They have a lot of receivers with a lot of talent.
They do have a lot.
The
of
big thing to
receivers.
remember is that Christian Watson, who's like their burner receiver, is coming off a torn ACL. Also, he's up for contract. So is Romeo Dobbs. So that's 2 receivers up for contract. They might just let both of them walk.
Because you don't really need it.
They might re-sign one of them, but again, you don't know how Watson's whole thing is speed, and now he's off an ACL injury. He's not back to like week 12, 13 at least. So Golden takes over his role. You have Jaden Reed still. So again, they're just kind of, and they have Savion Williams, who's a more bigger, thicker receiver builds, but they're just giving themselves more protection in the future.
Okay, look at the offense here. Lot of receivers. I mean, that's the first thing you look at is they are they're like 9 receivers deep.
They will keep. I mean, it's crazy to think that.
Well, McCole Harmon will get cut.
Yeah,
Because Savon Williams can
they
return.
signed him. Well, to be fair, they might keep Bo Melton somehow on the roster, just not at receiver. That's the guy who was playing corner.
Yeah, that's the guy who was playing corner. So he.
Well, Christian Watson will be on the PUP. Like he'll be on not season-ending IR, but he'll be on like IR because he's hurt for a while. So they might keep 7. So maybe Hardman stays, but I don't know. It depends if Williams is ready to do any returning roles.
They're going to move Eldon Jenkins to center this year?
Yeah, Elton Jenkins will be this. He's done it before. He's played all positions. He could play center. And then Banks slides in a guard. And once again, Jordan Morgan, first-round pick from last year, will still once again not start. That's the 2nd year in a row. Waste of a first-round pick.
Well, they have him at guard right now.
Yeah, exactly. They don't even know where to put him because I don't think he's good. He can't really play tackle.
I was going to say he played tackle in college.
Yeah, and they don't think he's good enough to.
Where did he go to school?
Arizona.
Yeah, so that's a possible. They could have picked an edge rusher. They could have picked something else, offensive lineman, and he's not playing twice now. 2 years. This 2 years because. Again, you're not playing Zach Tom. You're not playing over Zach Tom, and then maybe he gets the nod at left tackle eventually, but who knows?
Let's look at the defense here. I think they're a little weak at definitely corner. Corey Valentine, pretty weak there. I mean, they don't have many corners outside of Keyshawn Nixon, Corey Valentine, Nate Hobbs there.
I have a feeling that Hobbs might play more on the outside, and they're going to try and keep Bullard in the nickel like he did last year. It was his first year last year, and he did a decent job. I actually don't think this defense is that bad, and they did a pretty good job last year. I mean, they played the Eagles, and they played the Eagles freaking well last year. They held them to 22 points. 7 of those were a fumble on a kickoff where you basically gave him a free 7 points. The defense did a good job last year. It's
linebacker depth is a little weak as well. There too. If Quay Walker or Edgerrin Cooper goes down.
They're hoping Tyrone Hopper they drafted last year. They're hoping to have a step up year. And obviously Isaiah Simmons, who
should never be on your football.
he didn't do bad. He didn't do awful for the Giants. He's not a starter, though. He's a rotational guy.
Rotational off rosters.
Exactly. Rotational off rosters and should only be playing special teams.
The big thing that they're looking for right now is that Edgerrin Cooper, who was phenomenal last year. I mean, Edgerrin Cooper, if he played all 17 games last year, had a legitimate case to be a Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year with how he played. So they're really hoping that he continues on that path and just has a phenomenal sophomore year.
All right, let's move on here to the Vikings. Key additions: Will Freeze, Jonathan Allen, Ryan Kelly, Isaiah Rodgers, Jordan Mason, and Donovan Jackson. Key departures: Sam Darnold, Cam Bynum.
Sam Darnold.
They lost Sam Darnold.
No, you spelled it right.
You spelled it
Darnold.
Cam Bynum, Cam Robinson, Patrick Jones, and Stephon Gilmore. So
they lost a lot, but they also got back. They actually did a pretty good job to make up for what they lost.
They got some good players.
The big question mark will just be, can J.J. McCarthy play?
Yeah.
And can he play at the level he should after being, I guess, hurt for a year and watching and learning for as long as he was able to? Hopefully he comes in the league and does as well as Jordan Love did.
Yeah, I mean, this is the team that I think has like the biggest question mark. Like, I think this team honestly could win the division, but also at the same time, I could see them in last because J.J. McCarthy's terrible. Like, I literally don't know because when I looked at this roster up and down, like, yeah, this is probably the best roster, I think, one of the best rosters in the NFL. But at the same time, they also have J.J. McCarthy at quarterback, and he's played one preseason game. So
it's them and the Bears, I think, are the big what ifs or the question marks of.
The Packers are what if too. I mean, what if nobody steps up?
But at the end of the day, the Packers still have their core. They're not.
No. I know what they are. They have a good head coach and a good quarterback, but they don't have a very good pass rush or a secondary to cover. So it's like
But here's the thing: the Packers still won. They won 11 games last year, so it's like the Lions won 15 games. Roster didn't change too much for them. Lost a couple things, still be solid. The Packers won 11 games last year. Roster didn't really change. Like they pretty much the same thing. Bears won 5 games last year?
No, I'm not saying like
their roster changed a lot, but now it's like, can they contribute? The Vikings won 14 games last year? They were great. But their roster, not that it got worse, but it changed a lot, which is important. It's again, they brought in a bunch of good players, but it's different players.
No.
This is definitely the team that I've seen some people say they'll win 6-7 games. I've seen people say they'll win 14 games. Nobody really knows with JJ McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
They have the lowest floor and the highest ceiling for any team in the NFL.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
They could be god awful or not Super Bowl contending, but up there.
If he's Joe Burrow, then this team could be really good. That's what it is.
Again, we'll go to the depth chart here. Just a very, very solid offensive line there. Hoping that Donovan Jackson plugs in, plays well. He's very athletic. Hopefully he could do well there. And then this receiving core is very good as well. And it all comes down to JJ McCarthy.
They've set him up for success. They're giving him the pieces.
They definitely are. So, and then the defense has upgraded again, which is very well for them, and they are loaded as well on the defensive side of the ball. So, the Minnesota Vikings, I think, are one of the teams that it's going to be interesting to watch to see how JJ McCarthy plays.
They have one hole to me on defense, and it's the secondary. I mean, Byron Murphy's solid. Isaiah Rodgers and Blackman on the outside, that gives me a little bit of concerns. That would be the only thing, really.
And Jeff Okuda's played like dog shit.
Well, yeah, that's
Jeff Okuda won't play.
And then the safeties, I mean, Harrison Smith is like a grandpa at this point. He's still solid. He still does it okay. And then Metellus is, he's okay. They lost.
I think he's a good player.
Losing Cam Bynum was big. That guy was good.
He was good.
That guy was really good. Losing him which they lost him, and instead they got
Jonathan. And they also got Jonathan Allen, too.
Well, yeah, but Byron Murphy was like they couldn't pay, what's his face? They couldn't pay Bynum because they paid Murphy like $20 million or whatever.
And didn't they re-sign Van Ginkel?
Yeah. He had a very good year last year.
Solid.
So Ivan Pace, very good pass rusher. They got a lot of good pass rushers, this team. That's why they were so good last year. They got after the quarterback, and their offensive line was great. They won the battle up front no matter what. That's why they won 14. Yeah, that's why they won 14 games.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. Let's go to some predictions here. Let me pull it up. Okay, and of course it does that.
You're not typing.
Thanks, you guys. Schedule predictor. Do. Ah. Oh, hold on. We do want to do this one. Do the other one. Cyborg arms coming off. All right. It's easier to control this way. Okay. Here we go. Hold on. Let me make this a little bit bigger for us so we know what we're doing here. All right. Let's do this. Oh, I'm scrolling through here. Work. Okay, there we go.
There you go.
And here we go.
Lions in Green Bay. What do you think?
Well, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you my opinions. The Packers play the Lions on Sunday night to open Sunday, the game of the week, and then Washington the first on Thursday night. I don't care what you guys think. I think they go 1-1 in those games. So you could pick whatever you think. I think they win this game.
Oh, you think they win this game?
And then I think they probably lose to. They're both at home, but I still think they might lose because it's a.
We'll say they lose this one.
I don't know. It's all right. That's fine. You get Detroit this one. I would say they win because it's.
And the Vikings over the Bears. In my opinion.
I would take the Bears.
I would take the Bears.
Oh, wait. Dude, it's in Chicago.
It's McCarthy's first game. You got to give him like a few weeks. He's not going to come in perfect.
All right. This is,
That's what I get.
That's their bounce back game.
I would have it like 1-1 there. I'd take Detroit.
Take Detroit. And then, oh my God, hold on. Stop doing that. Where are the Vikings?
Scroll down.
I see.
There you go.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
I'll take Minnesota off a loss.
Yeah.
All right. I think we picked Atlanta last time, but that's
probably did.
I think we did. But it's okay.
And I was mad about it. I remember that.
Okay. I would take the Packers over the Browns.
By a lot, not 15-14.
I would take the Bengals over the Vikings.
Cowgirls.
Ooh.
No, I'll take the Bears.
I'll take the Bears.
Okay, that's fine.
Is that it, or is there one more?
Should be one more.
The Vikings.
Oh, the Lions.
Lions.
The Lions.
Ravens.
Baltimore over the Lions. Yeah, I think the
That'll
Lions.
be a good game.
I think the Lions will be. I don't want to say significantly worse this year, but I think they'll be worse. But that still means they can win 11 games. I just don't think they win 15 games again. That's the only thing.
Minnesota and Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'll go with the Steelers.
The Steelers are going 17-0 this year.
No, they're not.
I would take Detroit.
Yes.
That might be the big.
Oh yeah, the
blowout.
Packers have an early bye, so that might. I don't know.
And then Bears.
Packers
Bears over
the
Vegas.
Cowboys. That's fine.
That's fair. Okay. We're on to week 5 here.
Vikings. Over the Browns.
Yeah.
You don't like Joe Flacco?
No.
Joe Flacco's not.
What about
starting
Kenny
for them.
Pickett?
Kenny Two Gloves? Don't matter.
What about Dylan Gabriel?
Nope.
What
Still
about
going.
Mr. 100 miles an hour Shador Sanders?
Yes. He'll keep that a one-score
100
game
miles an hour
when he is on the practice squad.
Did you see? Okay, you guys had to see this because I thought this was so funny. Colin Cowherd's like, he was a big Shador Sanders guy. And now he's like, he went 100 miles an hour. I'm out. I'm just not.
I'm out.
It was the same thing with like when Brock Purdy wore his hat backwards to the post game interview. He was like, not a mature quarterback. I'm out.
I'm out.
That's
I love it.
I'm like, bro, it's one thing and you're out on him because he went fast on the
love it.
highway.
At least Shador didn't pull a Henry Ruggs.
Well, yeah, that'd be bad. But
That'd be really bad.
he was like going to the facility in the morning or something. Like it wasn't.
Yeah,
Even,
but why are you going 100 miles an hour?
why? Because I don't know. Because
You're late?
He's in
Okay.
the middle of Ohio. There's
he
probably
does not
nobody on
care.
the road. Like
Yeah.
you could just like.
Cleveland's a pretty big city.
Yeah, but the facility isn't in Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
They play like outside of Cleveland. Like they practice outside of Cleveland, where I think it's more open.
Rural.
Yeah.
Middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's not like the city.
Ooh.
Wait,
Wait, what week is it for the Bengals?
5.
Yeah.
I'll take the Bengals. I think
5? Why they're going to start bad?
They start bad.
All right. I think the Packers have a bye.
they do have a bye.
I was gonna say I think they
And the Bears do.
They have an early bye.
That's it.
Okay, let's move on here.
Okay.
Keep scrolling. Packers.
I would take the Packers off a bye.
Yes.
Sorry.
I'd agree.
I'd also I don't know where the Bears are, but I'd probably take the Bears too off a bye.
Oh,
Ooh.
KC.
I'll take KC because I think the Lions are probably going to win a lot of games after this. They got their tough
Okay.
skin. And then I'll take
Washington.
the Commanders.
I would take the Bears personally
I don't
because
believe
they
in
got
Caleb Williams
because
on
the
road.
Bears lost in awful fashion last year.
They
can't-
in Washington,
They
you're
can't
right.
lose that one again.
I'll take the Commanders.
That's
I
fine,
think
that's
the Commanders
fine.
are pretty good.
Like, they're another team. Washington, they had a good. They look like the most promising
Bears.
team that they're going to be phenomenal. I could see Washington being like decent. Like if they won 8 games, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm so surprised. Like I could see that happening because what you guys like. I don't know if you guys like what you think on this. I don't think Washington's roster is still amazing.
No, their roster's terrible.
Yeah, it's really not that good. It's
They
still,
just find ways to
They
win.
just would win games last year, and now that their schedule is going to be tougher, they're playing the whole NFC North. That's 4 possible games that they lose. Like that's just it makes things tougher. They had a cakewalk of a schedule last year.
Philly. Take
Yes.
over Minnesota.
Yeah, Philly could win every game this year that they play. I'd
Take-
take the Packers.
Packers here.
And
And I'll take Detroit.
I'll take Detroit. Yeah,
We just gave them
they
2.
I think they lost to Tampa last year too in a game that they shouldn't have lost.
Is that? Yeah, that's everybody.
I'll take
Minnesota.
the Vikings here.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh wait, isn't that JJ McCarthy versus old coach?
Yeah.
That'd be a good game.
Over Harbaugh. Harbaugh's got him on lot. He knows what he does.
Oh, is that it? No. I'll take Pittsburgh here.
Wow, this is a tough one.
Aaron Rodgers
This
is
is a
not
tough-
losing to the Green Bay Packers.
Yes, he is.
not losing to the
Bro
Green Bay
is-
Packers.
bro
I
should
go
have
back and
retired.
forth because I want to be like,
Bro
the Pack-
should have retired.
I'm like the Packers are going to demolish
Hang 'em
in
up.
this game, but I'm also like this guy's going to like. I mean, it's not.
The final score might be 45-40.
We could give it to the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is to
All right.
beat every team. Rodgers would have beaten every team in the NFL. So that's a big one. But I
The
just
Lions aren't a bye. We're good.
we'll give it to them because it's in Pittsburgh. If this game was in Green Bay, no shot they win. Rodgers would get heckled.
Probably be shot at.
All right, Bears, Bengals. Take the
I
Bengals.
would go down the row. Bang 3 in a row. Personally.
Yes. Green Bay.
It's fair. It's fun. Oh, is that it? Oh, yeah.
That was it. That was
Week
it.
10.
yeah.
All right.
Giants.
Hey.
Really?
Damn it.
You know, as if we say Giants, he can't
Nah.
say anything else.
No,
That is true.
The Giants are not going to win
That
that
is true.
game.
You could use your bias and go Giants.
Baltimore.
Oh God.
Oof, the
I
Vikings
just
are 3
remembered
and
that the
6.
Packers play the Giants in a couple weeks. I'm coming up.
Oh. Ooh.
Well, Detroit
Yeah.
Yeah.
after the playoffs.
Revenge
then-
game.
Oh,
Philly.
Take
see, I
Philly.
want to say the revenge game, but Philly's just that good. Like I can't say they're gonna.
Okay. Just skip that week, whatever. Minnesota and the Bears.
I
Vikings.
Take the Bears.
Wow.
Actually, I'll have to go with Minnesota too.
Okay.
They got to snap a losing streak here.
Guys.
No, we're not picking the Giants. We're not picking the Giants.
I don't know, man.
Oh, yes, we are.
We're taking the Giants.
The thing is,
Yes,
too, the thing is,
30-27
too,
on a game-winning field
I
goal
will tell
from
you
50
exactly
plus.
what's going to happen. The Packers will beat the Eagles the week before, and they will lose to the Giants.
Yep.
I would guess that more than anything
I'll take that.
because they never beat the Giants. I swear they haven't beaten the Giants in I don't even know.
What day is that game or what week?
Week 11.
Week
We're going.
11.
I'm definitely
Okay.
We're
going.
going.
Yeah, we're good. It's
I'll
a
see
1
if I can
o'clock. It's a
come
1
on.
o'clock game on Sunday, but
So, alrighty.
Missing one?
Philly. Take Philly here.
Philly's going 17-0.
And that's it. Okay, let's continue on here. We have the
Steelers.
Lions.
Packers, Steelers.
That's fair. Steelers,
Packers.
Packers.
Bounce back after losing to the Giants.
They lost 2 in a row after lose to the Giants. Yeah, you don't lose after you lose to the Giants. That's a rough week of practice.
Yeah. Oh.
See, I'd give this one to the Packers then,
That's fair.
because I think they
Split
split
series.
this. Yeah,
Eagles.
Okay.
And
5
where's
and
Minnesota?
7 for the Bears.
Seahawks. Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold revenge game. Yeah, tough to go against Sammy Big Head.
Damn, we have the
game.
Vikings at 4-8.
Dude,
That's
the Bears
crazy.
are 5 and 7.
It's going to be a battle for last place. They'll come within a game or two of each other.
All right.
Packers.
Well,
Oh, I skipped. Okay, yeah, the Lions.
I go.
sorry, hold on. It's
Jesus.
I'd go
I
Lions.
didn't do anything.
I'd go Packers, and then I'd go.
Ooh. Vikings.
We could go Vikings here. I'm okay with that.
Controversial.
Again, we're not dead accurate predicting games right now. It's just kind of like
Their record,
yeah.
generally speaking.
Shouldn't have did that with my hand.
Because again, we're not accounting for like if you really want to break down a team's record, you have to look at it like on its own. It's like okay, they played this week, and then it's like okay, that short week here probably a loss. Bounce long like a mini bye here, like stuff like that. We're not really looking at that right now.
Okay.
The Bears.
Yeah, take the Bears. That's fine.
Keep going.
I'm trying as
The computer's over.
the computer is just
Computer's
shitting
not
itself.
The
working.
computer's fried.
No, it is completely fried.
No. Oh, I thought you were going to close the tab on us.
I did that last time.
I remember.
I'll take Denver
We
here.
can take the Broncos. I'm okay with that.
I'll take the Rams. They beat Matthew
Yeah,
Stafford.
that's fine. And then do we get the Vikings?
I don't know. My computer's bugging today. Yes, right down here.
Vikings.
I'd probably go Cowboys, but
Oh.
I'll take the Vikings. I actually like that because the Vikings at 6-8 make more sense than 5-9.
5 and 9.
I want to take the Bears.
It's going to happen, Shay.
all right, that's
It's got to happen once.
This one, it's on the road. I
The Vikings are probably going to beat the Giants.
yeah, I would say so.
That one might be bad.
I don't think the Giants are actually going to be like they're going to be competitive every game, but I think they're going to lose a lot of games.
Yeah, just because again, tough. You got to play. This is 4 tough games.
They have
They'll
the-
be blown
you're-
out, though.
They have
Here's
the
the
hardest schedule in
You're-
15 years.
Yeah, your division is 6 tough games. This is 4 tough games.
Oh, my God.
Well,
We'll see if you refresh. And we'll see.
No.
no.
Is it all gone? Okay.
All right, so let's just go back to what we were gonna do here and go back to the top.
Detroit, Green Bay.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna pull up what I had.
That's where you would go.
1 through 4.
Okay.
What'd you say?
Detroit, Green Bay, Minnesota, Chicago, or flip the bottom 2.
Okay, that's close to what I had. Shay?
I would go Packers 1, Lions, Bears, Vikings. That'd be my list.
Wow. Okay. Well, me and Ezra went the same here with the Lions at the top.
It'll be close.
Green Bay at number 2.
I don't think it'll be a
Minnesota at number 3.
Oh wow, you had the same.
And the Bears at number 4. So we had the exact
You
same.
guys think the Bears will be worse than the Vikings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were hyping up their roster before.
I think both their rosters are good.
That's the point. They got a good roster.
But I think okay, listen. The Lions are the most proven team here.
That is true.
They are the most proven team.
That is true.
The Packers, they have the most proven quarterback and most proven head coach.
I guess also I know what you mean. Yes.
Combo.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
I would
fine.
take LaFleur and Love over anybody else.
Yeah.
As much as O'Connell's probably might be a better head coach, offensive minded.
I think he
JJ
is.
McCarthy.
But he has McCarthy now.
But he has McCarthy.
You guys really hate on Dan Campbell.
Then
don't
they
you?
have Kevin O'Connell, and I think
Dan
one of the best.
is like played tight ends. He is like a hype man coach.
Exactly.
That's like you telling me that Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts is a very good head coach quarterback duo.
And then I think
They won a
not
Super
much
Bowl,
going.
though.
They did, but I don't think it's much going on from the head coach. More
No.
so that look at that roster that they had.
the Bears are very unproven, and I'll take the Bears in last. So
Now, do you think the 3rd and 4th place race is closer than 1st and 2nd? Do you know what I mean by that?
yeah, I think so. I think honestly, I can see the 2nd place race being the 2nd and 3rd, 4th being, and I think the Lions could run away with this division
Wow.
early on. I know they got a tough.
I think it's close between the Lions and the Packers.
That's what I was
I
thinking.
think the Lions get kind of screwed that they have to play. Here's the best way to think about it: the Lions have to play the 1st place schedule. The Packers get the 3rd place schedule because the Vikings, they were 3rd in the division last year.
And the Vikings have a 2nd place schedule with a rookie quarterback.
Think of the amount of divisions where the 1st place team is really, really good and that 3rd place team is not so good. Like we were going through the records. There was a couple of those, like the Lions got to play the Chiefs. The Packers the Broncos are still good. It's a lot better than playing the Chiefs.
Isn't it the Packers get Carolina instead of
The Lions get Tampa Bay. The Packers get the Panthers.
Yeah.
A lot different scenario. Like it's a lot different there. So it's like
true.
it's a big difference. It's definitely a big difference.
I think the Packers have the worst roster though in the whole division.
Yeah, probably.
On
Probably
paper,
overall,
on paper
yes,
right now they have
yes,
the
on
worst.
paper.
On paper,
So that's why I still am very skeptical about them when all these teams have a better roster, but they have Jordan Love and
I think they're a
And-
10-win team.
They have Jordan Love. They're Jordan Love, Matt LaFleur, the youngest roster,
exactly.
still developing roster that has proven these past 2 seasons.
They can play.
Won a playoff game last year. Played the best, a decent game against the best team in the league last year. Like a team that definitely has the potential to get it done. It's just will they get it done? That's the question.
So, all right, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. We're gonna be posting another YouTube video this week. You'll see we'll talk about it in a sec on here. So, all right, we'll see you guys later. You guys, anything else?
No.
All right,
For once, we agree.
let's do it. See you guys later.